when she doesn't value you. There's still something inside her that's quietly keeping score, testing you, observing how you react to her absence. What hurts a woman the most in this situation isn't always what you think. It's not your silence alone, or even your distance. It's what your absence reveals to her about who you really are without her. When a woman stops valuing you, it means she's convinced herself that you're not important enough to lose sleep over. But the real pain comes when she realizes that your world didn't collapse when she left, that you didn't beg, you didn't chase, you didn't plead for her attention. You see, when she thought she had you wrapped around her finger, she believed she could always come back, that you'd always be waiting. What hurts her most is when that illusion breaks, when she sees that you've healed without her, that her absence didn't destroy you, it refined you. A woman might act like she's fine when she pulls away. She might post her best pictures, appear busy, seem like she's glowing without you. But behind that, there's a quiet storm brewing. If she starts realizing that you were never dependent on her for your sense of worth, what hurts her is when she notices that your confidence didn't fade when she stopped validating you. It hurts her when she sees that you don't need her to feel powerful. That, to her, is unsettling, because deep down, she wanted to be the one who defined your emotional temperature. And when she no longer controls that, her ego trembles. What hurts a woman the most is when the man she underestimated stops trying to convince her of his value. She thought your value was measured by how much effort you put into getting her attention. But when she sees that you've stopped proving yourself, she starts to question if she ever really knew your worth. And that question burns, because it forces her to realize that she was never the prize she imagined herself to be. You were. The moment you stopped chasing, you shifted the power. Suddenly, she's the one wondering, why isn't he trying anymore? Has he found someone else? Did I really matter to him at all? That's the hurt that hits her when she thought she could just walk away untouched. A woman can ignore your messages, avoid your calls, act like she's too busy. But when she sees you living like your peace is intact, that's when reality starts biting. It hurts her when your silence speaks louder than any argument you could have had. When she notices that you're smiling again, working on yourself, dressing better, moving with purpose, that's when her mind starts replaying every moment she took you for granted. She thought you would crumble. But instead, you evolved. You became better. That transformation is what pierces her pride, because she realizes she wasn't the one who helped you rise. You did that alone. It hurts her when she sees that the same attention she used to get from you is now going somewhere else. Not necessarily to another woman, but to your passions, your peace, your goals. When she's no longer the center of your focus, she starts to feel invisible in your world. And even though she may never admit it, invisibility is one of the most painful feelings a woman can experience. Because for someone who once had your full devotion to now be met with calm indifference, it feels like rejection in its purest form. When a woman doesn't value you, she expects you to react emotionally. She expects drama. She expects begging. She expects explanations. But when you give her none of that, when you remain grounded, controlled, and peaceful, it confuses her. It hurts her ego because she thought she mattered more than your peace of mind. She thought you would lose balance without her validation. But your calmness tells a story she can't ignore, that she never had the control she believed she did. That realization quietly breaks her confidence because it reminds her that real power doesn't chase, it attracts. It also hurts her when she realizes that you no longer look at her the same way. There's a kind of pain that comes from being adored once and then suddenly being seen with neutral eyes. When your gaze no longer holds that spark, when your tone no longer carries emotion, when your energy no longer reacts to her presence, she feels that. She may try to act unaffected, but deep inside, it stings, because it means she's lost access to a part of your heart that she once thought was hers forever. The validation, the admiration, the gentle attention, all gone. That silence becomes louder than any words you could have spoken. It hurts her when she realizes that someone else might now experience the version of you she took for granted. The version that gave, cared, protected, and believed. She might not say it, but she feels it. Because now she understands that someone else gets to feel the love she dismissed, the patience she ignored, the consistency she undervalued. That comparison kills her silently. She remembers the moments she didn't appreciate you. And now she wonders if those same qualities she once called boring are what another woman is falling in love with. That's a wound her pride can't easily heal. When a woman doesn't value you, she often assumes you'll always be waiting for her. But what hurts her the most is realizing that you've moved on without resentment. Because anger still means you care. Silence means you've accepted. And acceptance is powerful. It tells her that you've released the idea of what could have been and embraced the peace of what is. when she sees that you're no longer fighting for closure. She realizes that she's no longer in control of your emotional story. That loss of emotional power, more than anything else, is what cuts deep. It also hurts her when she starts comparing what she left with what she has now. She may find someone new, but if that person lacks the patience, understanding, or emotional intelligence you had, she'll start to miss what she dismissed. She'll scroll through memories not because she wants to come back, but because she's haunted by the thought that she might have let go of something rare. She won't admit it publicly, but she'll feel it in her quiet moments. When she's alone, when no one's watching, when her phone lights up, but it's not your name, that's when it hurts the most, because she realizes that attention isn't the same as connection. And chemistry isn't the same as care. It hurts her when she sees that you've stopped explaining yourself. She remembers how you used to clarify things, defend your intentions, make her understand your perspective. But now you've stopped. You've learned to let people misunderstand you rather than wasting your energy convincing them of your worth. That's growth. And growth is something she didn't expect from you, because she thought you'd stay stuck in the place she left you. Instead, you've risen beyond needing validation. That shift quietly unsettles her, because now you've become the version of yourself she always wanted, but without her. It hurts her when she realizes that you've forgiven her, not because you want her back, but because you've healed. Forgiveness is power. It means she can no longer use guilt to pull you back. It means her past actions have lost their hold over you. And when she can no longer manipulate your emotions, she's left facing herself, her choices, her mistakes, her pride. That's the real pain, because now the mirror reflects back the truth she tried to avoid. She lost a man who genuinely cared, because she couldn't see his value when it mattered. A woman's ego thrives when she feels desired. But when she stops valuing you and you stop desiring her, that's when the tables turn. She begins to feel what you once felt: uncertainty, longing, confusion. She begins to question her own worth, the same way she once made you question yours. And that's the full circle moment that stings the most, because now she's feeling the emotional distance she once created. She's experiencing the same silence she once gave you. That's when the lesson hits her hardest, when she realizes that indifference, not anger, is what truly ends emotional attachment. What hurts her most is not your departure, it's your peace after leaving. It's the way you glow without her validation. It's the way you've rebuilt yourself from the same pain she caused. It's the way you no longer seek her attention, not because you're bitter, but because you've outgrown the need for it. That's when she truly feels the weight of what she lost. Because while she was focused on being admired, you were focused on healing. And in that healing, you became untouchable. A woman may not say it, but when she doesn't value and then sees you thriving without her, it burns her pride. She thought she could find better. Maybe she did, but better doesn't always mean deeper. Sometimes she'll realize that love isn't about excitement or validation. It's about peace, consistency, and growth. And when she sees that you want all three without her, she'll finally understand what she lost. But by then, it's too late, because you've already learned what she didn't. You don't need to be valued by someone who couldn't see your worth in the first place. When a woman begins to realize that she no longer has emotional power over you, something inside her shifts. She may have thought that walking away would make you chase harder, prove yourself more, or crumble without her presence. But when you don't do any of that, when you remain calm, when your life continues to flourish, that's when reality starts to sting her. It's not about revenge or making her jealous. It's about your quiet transformation, the kind that speaks volumes without you ever needing to say a word. The pain she feels comes from the truth that you no longer revolve around her world, that your happiness no longer depends on her attention. She begins to see that while she played games with your emotions, you were outgrowing the version of yourself that once tolerated disrespect. It hurts her when she realizes that you are no longer emotionally accessible. She used to think she could come back anytime, send a simple message, and you would drop everything just to hear from her. But when your responses become slow, calm, detached, when your energy no longer carries emotion, she feels a quiet panic. She remembers the days when you were available at every hour, when your affection was guaranteed, when your words overflowed with care. Now, she gets silence or polite indifference. That hurts deeply because it means she no longer has the access she took for granted. A woman might pretend to be unbothered, but losing access to someone who once adored her always hits differently. What also hurts her is the realization that your attention was never desperate. It was genuine. She confused your kindness with weakness. She thought your patience was a lack of options. But now that you've withdrawn that energy, she sees what she lost. It dawns on her that not every man gives the kind of care you did. That not every man listens the way you listened. understands the way you did, or protects the way you tried to. And that's when regret begins to build. She may not express it outwardly, but inside, she'll feel a heaviness every time she remembers how easily she dismissed you. It hurts her when she sees that the same love she rejected became the foundation for your growth. She watches as you level up, as you focus on your goals, as your confidence radiates without her presence. The version of you that she once doubted is now becoming everything she secretly admired. You're stronger, more stable, more self-assured. You speak differently, you move differently, and suddenly other people are drawn to you. And though she may act indifferent, it burns quietly. Because deep down, she wishes she had believed in you when you were still offering her your heart. She wishes she had supported you during your climb instead of walking away when things got hard. It hurts her when she sees that other women now admire the qualities she once ignored. The way you think, the way you carry yourself, your calmness, your sense of purpose. Those same traits that she took lightly are now the exact reasons someone else is drawn to you. It's not that she wants you back necessarily. It's that she feels replaced. And not just replaced, but replaced by someone who appreciates what she didn't. That realization doesn't sit well with her, because no matter how confident she seems, no one enjoys watching someone they undervalued become the version of themselves they always wanted them to be. It hurts her when you stop reacting to her emotional tactics. She might test you, send a subtle message, try to make you jealous, or show up on your social media just to see if you'll respond. But when you stay calm and detached, when you no longer rise to the bait, she begins to understand that her emotional influence over you is gone. And for someone who once thrived on attention, losing that influence cuts deep. It forces her to see that you've matured beyond her manipulation. You no longer seek validation, you've found peace. That peace is what unsettles her the most, because she realizes she no longer holds the power to disturb your balance. It hurts her when she remembers how much effort you once put into understanding her. You listened to her silence, her moods, her fears, and her dreams. You cared even when she was distant. You showed love even when she was cold. But now all that energy is gone. You've reclaimed it, redirected it into yourself. And suddenly, she's the one craving the emotional attention she used to receive. That emotional void becomes heavy. She may not show it, but every time she feels unseen or misunderstood by others, your memory will cross her mind. Because she'll realize that what she lost wasn't just a person, it was emotional safety, something rare in this world. It hurts her when she starts comparing your peace with her chaos. She might be surrounded by people, attention, or temporary excitement, but none of it feels fulfilling. Because true peace isn't found in noise, it's found in presence. And when she sees that you've found peace in solitude, it challenges her ego. She used to believe that your happiness came from her, but now it's clear that your happiness comes from within. That kind of strength is intimidating because it's something she hasn't learned to master yet. It reminds her that the love you gave came from a place of wholeness, not dependency. It hurts her when she realizes that you no longer talk about her, not even in anger. Silence after attachment is one of the loudest forms of closure. When you stop mentioning her, when your friends stop hearing her name, when your face doesn't change at the sound of hers, that's when she knows you've truly moved on. Because hate still means you care, indifference means it's over. And that realization breaks her illusion of control. She might even try to provoke a reaction just to confirm that she still matters. But when you give her nothing, she feels that silence more than any insult could ever deliver. It hurts her when you start setting boundaries with no emotion. Before, she could cross lines, say things, or do things knowing you'd forgive her. But now, you're firm. You've learned to protect your peace without arguing. You don't raise your voice. You simply walk away. That calm strength confuses her because it's something she never expected from you. She remembers when your emotions were easily accessible, when she could predict your every move. Now, she can't. Your unpredictability makes her anxious because she no longer knows where she stands in your world. And that's a feeling she can't easily shake off. It hurts her when she sees you being genuinely happy without needing to prove anything. You're not posting out of spite, not pretending to be fine. You actually are fine. That authenticity cuts deeper than any act of revenge ever could, because she realizes your peace isn't a performance, it's growth. You've evolved beyond needing her approval, and that freedom is something she secretly envies. She might smile for pictures and look happy on the outside, but inside she feels the weight of knowing she once had someone who gave her unconditional love, and she couldn't see its value. It hurts her when she finally experiences the same treatment she gave you. Life has a way of mirroring energy. One day, she'll meet someone who treats her the way she treated you, distant, inconsistent, emotionally unavailable. And that's when the lesson becomes clear. She'll start to understand your pain from the inside. She'll remember how you used to try, how you waited, how you forgave, how you stayed patient. And in that moment of reflection, she'll wish she could go back and handle things differently. But time doesn't rewind for realization, it moves forward. And while she's learning the hard way, you're already miles ahead, healed and whole. It hurts her when she realizes that she no longer inspires your words, your art, your focus. You used to write about her, talk about her, think about her in everything you did. But now your inspiration comes from new places, your purpose, your vision, your inner strength. She sees that your world has expanded beyond her existence, and that thought quietly eats away at her pride. Because she wanted to be unforgettable, yet she's becoming just another chapter in a story she thought she would own forever. It hurts her when she realizes that you no longer care whether she notices you or not. She used to hold power in knowing that you wanted her attention. But now you've reached a place where her recognition doesn't mean anything. You're not trying to prove yourself, not trying to remind her of what she lost. You're simply living. And that unbothered energy, that quiet confidence, it's what makes her notice you all over again. The irony is, she starts wanting you most when you stop caring entirely. It hurts her when she realizes that time didn't erase your worth. It revealed it. The very things she once took lightly are now the things others praise you for. Your patience, your discipline, your calmness, your heart, all of it stands out more as you continue to grow. And when she hears others speak highly of you, it reminds her of how she undervalued what she had. It's not jealousy alone, it's regret mixed with humility. She sees now that losing someone genuine isn't just a mistake, it's a wound that time doesn't easily heal. It hurts her when she recognizes that you were the kind of man who could have built something real with her. She might have walked away thinking the grass was greener somewhere else, but now she sees that real love isn't about excitement. It's about peace, loyalty, and growth. And you represented all of that. You were her chance at emotional stability, at genuine connection. She let it slip away because she couldn't see past her own pride. And that regret will follow her quietly, even when she smiles for the world. It hurts her when she realizes you never wished her harm, that you simply let her go with grace. Because that grace reminds her that despite everything, you were pure in your intentions. You didn't seek revenge. You didn't talk badly about her. You just moved forward. And that's when she truly sees the difference between you and the temporary people she surrounded herself with. Your calm exit will echo in her memory long after the noise fades, because silence backed by strength leaves an impression that words never could. It hurts her when she understands that losing you wasn't just losing love, it was losing safety, loyalty, and understanding. She can meet new people, explore new experiences, but she won't easily find the same energy again. Because what you gave came from authenticity, not convenience. You cared without calculation. You loved without games. And those kinds of hearts are rare. So when she realizes she mistook your calmness for weakness, your consistency for boredom, and your loyalty for control, that's when the truth finally hits her. She didn't lose just a man, she lost peace disguised as love, and that realization, quiet, private, and irreversible, is what hurts her the most. It hurts her when she realizes that your absence doesn't leave you empty, it leaves her with unanswered questions. She expected you to miss her endlessly, to struggle without her, to look for ways to get her attention again. But when she sees you thriving in silence, it creates a confusion she can't express, because deep down,